Welcome back, my beautiful friends. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Coming up in our Crypto Frontier segment brought to you by CCP Digital, we are featuring crypto innovator and investor, industry pioneer John Tabacco, host of the very famous Wise Guys on Newsmax TV. Now, I love how all these experts are coming on to our show, allowing me to bring you the edutainment you are all so excited about, making us the number one show on the WOR block. Now, JT is one of the earlier innovators in the crypto and blockchain space. Impressively, he also served as president and co-founder of Overstock.com. He is recognized by the USPTO as an inventor on multiple granted blockchain patents. Now, John's track record is to initiate, instigate, disrupt, and exit. His inventions and thought leadership were critical in the launching of the very first public bond offering on the blockchain and the first US regulated digital security token. Today, we are chatting about the metaverse and how it's trickling and making its way into cityworks. That's right. There are cities now poised to enter the metaverse. And if you follow the news about the metaverse, you might think that it's a gaming platform for kids or a place where Facebook is planning to wreak new havoc on society. But there are signs that the metaverse will finally evolve beyond games and global 3D concerts. It has so much more potential than just being a platform for fun and games. Done right, it's going to expand the way we live our daily lives and how our cities function. This past November, Seoul announced that it's going to spend $3.3 billion by the year 2030 to become a metaverse city. That means in the year 2030, you can visit government offices from your couch to apply for new travel documents or permits. Virtual city officials are going to answer your requests online. Artificial intelligence will very intelligently manage utilities like energy and water waste, recycling, and so much more. And in the metaverse, in theory, it's going to be the sweeping digital world where people can interact with digital avatars while tethered to their living rooms via AR glasses and VR headsets. And here to chat some more is my dear friend and crypto influencer, John Tabacco. Welcome to the show, superstar.
Having me. So great to finally be with you. You're a shooting star.
So excited that you're finally on. And I can't think of the best possible way to introduce you to our platform because this is right up your alley. It's everything you've been talking about way before it was even all the craze. So let's start with these cities entering the metaverse, okay? Let's circle back to Seoul. In 2023, a virtual office for general public services, tentatively named Metaverse 120 Center, is going to be established, where citizens equipped with VR headsets are going to meet with avatar officials to handle citizen complaints and consultations. This is taking Seoul a step further into the metaverse by providing virtual services for citizens and basically businesses. What do you say to this? And are there any local cities with metaverse plans right here in the tri-state area with similar visions? Talk to me, JT.
Well, Zen, first and foremost, I want to congratulate Japan for getting on the metaverse train. But I do want to say to them, you're late because, as you know, my brothers and I, and our company Deployment, we've actually bucked the trend. We're not going with Mark Zuckerberg. We're not going with the technocrats in Silicon Valley. We've taken matters into our own hands. And we've actually built my hometown, Staten Island, New York, the Muniverse. It'll be the first municipality in the metaverse. And it's not one of these places where the woke-tards from Silicon Valley are going to come in and start setting rules, and there's going to be strip clubs and all this other stuff. It's an all-American community. And we're working very close to getting the cooperation and support from a great borough president here in Staten Island, Vito Fossella, who wants to create more opportunities for kids to learn how to code and grow into these metaverse jobs because it's going to get so big, as well as make the citizens' experience, the constituent experience here in Staten Island better. Then we're in the process of building all New York City. You can watch a little video and see a little more about what we're doing by going to nycmeta.io. And we're building all of New York City, but we started out with my favorite place on earth, our little redheaded step borough here, Staten Island, New York. And a lot of the metaverse platforms are getting a lot of, I would say, updraft from some of the big retailers. Nike, Adidas, Microsoft, banks, McDonald's are all doing intellectual property and trademark filings in the metaverse. That doesn't mean they're going to be in mine or Meta's, but they're just protecting their naming rights in any metaverse. And one of the things we've done, Zen, that I think is really special, and it hopefully can turn into some kind of public-private partnerships that other boroughs and other municipalities will look at. What we did is we built the first 7 landmarks in the Staten Island metaverse. And they are cultural facilities, they are government buildings, they are theaters, they are gardens. And these are all basically nonprofits. Like you got the St. George Theater, which is a landmark. You got the Snug Harbor Cultural Center and the Japanese Reflecting Gardens. You got Borough Hall. You have John Catsimatidis's newest thing, the Staten Island Ferry Hawk Stadium. We have Pete Davidson's ferry in our metaverse.
Yes,
And we have
so much is going on. And I let's segue back because there's about 5.5 minutes left. But what you're saying hits very close to home. And I always tell people, look, Decentraland is made up of about 90,000 parcels, and only about half are available for companies to own and develop. And virtual parcels derive their value from the finite nature of virtual land. And that's a very familiar notion among those of us who rally behind Bitcoin and its limited 21 million coin supply. But when you're looking at where companies are headed, and you're looking at the evolution that we have made from Web 1 to Web 2 and now Web 3.0, where you could 3.0 where you could write it, read it, and own it, it's really taking on a much different connotation. Because if you look at the very first users of the metaverse, they were gaming platforms, and artists who immediately recognized the economic potential of the idea started jumping on. Now you have the fashion industry woke up, right? The first Metaverse Fashion Week was hosted in March in the metaverse, and the design elements were somewhat like rudimentary and really reminiscent of the 1990s. But guess what, John? More than 100,000 users still flocked into the platform during that week, and that's much more than any in-person show could ever hold. So you are 100% right. This is the next phase.
Yeah, and one of the things we're doing is we're basically working with Staten Island residents, Staten Island community leaders, businesses, and create a metaverse that reflects basically the values and ideals of Staten Island New Yorkers, not what some major technocrat company wants us to do in the metaverse. We're creating opportunities for people who may be homebound, they may be sick, they may be older and still scared about COVID, but they can go see an art gallery demonstration at the Snug Harbor Gallery. They can go see a show at the St. George Theater. And many of these cultural institutions especially have been hurt over the pandemic. Funding is down, attendance is down, and they need it. So aside from obviously another pursuit of capitalism on my part, I want to make sure that our metaverse and the communities that join our metaverse are doing some good for the community, and not just creating another crazy gaming platform where kids can go on and start shooting each other all day long. There is good out there. The metaverse gets a bad rap. People say it's a subhuman, transhuman. This is the next phase, and the same people that are saying this were against emails.
Exactly.
In
Exactly.
2000,
They were the ones saying, no, 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 this is, the work of a conspiracy. But let's go. I have a very specific question for you. We have about 3 minutes left. I'm just keeping track of the time. I want to chat digital twins. Okay. So this new technology, which creates virtual models of cities and simulates policy scenarios, could be a potential game changer for urban planning. And digital twins allow cities not just to create virtual models, but to run simulations of new policies or infrastructure projects and preview their potential impacts before making a decision in the real world. Where do you see this heading, John?
Well, I think it's an interesting observation. In our metaverse, we're creating not gaming, but we're creating cool micro tasking jobs where people can actually earn points and win tokens that they can spend by doing tasks in the metaverse and making it better for us. And in the same place, we're taking a small portion of every person that buys a piece of real estate in our metaverse, and we're making all those people owners of the company. So we want to get their input. And I think somewhere down the line, many of these metaverses, if they're done properly, they would run as almost a referendum government where you talk to the people that come to your shop, that consume your goods, that travel in your metaverse, that buy in your metaverse, and ask them, how the heck would you like us to do this? So I think it's the evolution of something great. Zen, I spent 25 years on Wall Street, as you know, traditional pounding the pavement, back rooms, ballrooms, all that good stuff. And in 2015, one of my mentors, Patrick Byrne, came to me and said, JT, Overstock has to be the first company to accept Bitcoin. This thing is going to be huge. I didn't know much about it, but I always let my mind think. And I moved from a place I knew very well to a place I knew barely nothing about. And it turned out Overstock was the first company to accept Bitcoin as an e-commerce company in the world. We did the first public bond offering, as you said. Thank you so much. The first legal security token. And I think I've been ahead of the curve in my life, in my fintech companies on Wall Street, and now going into cryptocurrency. I am working on my first book, The Goomba's Guide to Cryptocurrency, where I lay things out pretty simply for people who want to just get the dip your toe in the water. But
The 30-second quick and dirty. And that leaves us with less than 30 seconds, just enough for me to say goodbye and direct everybody to your incredible platforms. John, it was such an incredible opportunity to have you on. You are always so full of knowledge. Thank you so much for chatting.
Zen, thank you so much, and all the best to you and the family.
You got it, my love. Well, that was John Tabacco, and that was our Crypto Frontier segment brought to us by CCP Digital. Make sure you definitely check out John Tabacco every Saturday night. He's the host of Wise Guys on Newsmax at 10 p.m. And make sure you check out nycmeta.io. Now, remember, guys, data is constantly being collected about our movements, our consumption, and even our behavior, both by our governments and by private companies. And the metaverse allows us to put that data finally to good use. The overlap between the virtual and real worlds will simplify our interactions with the government and save time and money. Simulated twins of our cities will quickly calculate the impact of changes and create a cleaner and less stressful environment. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. That was our Crypto Frontier segment brought to us by CCP Digital. We'll be right back after this.